followers, and welcome back to MrMFretwell Plays Minecraft, and we are here today on the outside surface world, only temporarily though, as I have some things to show you today and a project to do underground. But the first thing I want to do is take down this tree. I needed it for vines, and actually the project I want to do today is a vine farm. So we are not going to be needing this tree anymore. I did shear a number of vines off it. We now have 49 vines, so that should do us plenty. Plus, if we really got desperate, we could shear those vines over there. But the plan is today to set up a small vine farm after we have toured around what I've done. So, off camera, today I've spent basically the whole day sort of working on this world here and kind of finishing things off and just getting projects done, as there's been a lot of stuff that has kind of been left unfinished from the last sort of 10 or 12 episodes, really, just projects that we've started and then not gone ahead and finished. So it's nice to kind of have that feeling of having completed some projects. Just going to pick up these saplings and so on and so forth, and I guess that will be decaying while we take a tour. So I haven't done anything out here at all. It's all been underground, so let's go take a look. And the first obvious change you will see right at the bottom of the staircase. So, as you can see, I got rid of the light blue stained glass. It was just too expensive and very time consuming, and I added this strip of stained clay instead, and I think it looks pretty nice. And as you go between zones, you get a different strip of stained clay. I completely decorated out this tunnel, and I also got rid of it down there as well. Still not really sure what I want to do with this yet. I might make this floor like it is up here with the white stained glass and the wool, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So I completely finished off this area as far as the corridor goes. Nothing's been changed in here, nor in here. This is still a hodgepodge of, I mean, whatever. It's not really prettified yet, but I'm sure it will be soon. One of my next projects to do is to kind of finish off in there and get this whole little corridor area sort of completed and finished off. So beyond that, I have been working extensively in the tier area here. So I guess the first thing is I've moved a lot of chests here, got some furnaces set up as I've been smelting a few things. I have completely done all the lighting. As you can see, all of the lighting fixtures are now set up and done, which is really nice. No more torches. I finished all the staircases to all the access points. So for example, I think last episode over here wasn't done, and it now is, and I've done all the lighting for these. I've decorated out this tunnel, but we'll come back to that. So everything's looking pretty much done on this floor. The only two bits that aren't done are these little patches of stone here, and these are going to be the staircases that go down to the second floor, which I haven't got around to today, but that's a big project and an episode in itself, so I decided not to go ahead and do all of that as well, as I was getting pretty exhausted from everything I've done. Unfortunately, I did not locate the iron blocks that I seem to have misplaced somewhere. I did locate a stack of iron blocks in a minecart chest. I did go and double check my chest in the nether, but this is not the amount I had. Now, I'm wondering if it's just a case of that I used them all in the creation of the gold farm, but that kind of seems unlikely. I'm not really sure where it all went. Hopefully it'll turn up at some point later. So I did that, and as you can see up here, I've done quite a bit of work. We now have all the 3x3 doors. I know some people said they liked them, so I've gone ahead and done those for all of these here. So if you were one of the people that like the 3x3 doors, there you go. And as you can see, we've got this going on here, and it looks pretty nice. I really like the clay contrast. There's no colours that kind of stick out, thankfully. And I've sort of organised areas into zones. So over here is kind of the entrance, and also odd farms off that way. This down here is sort of growable type farms that I'm putting underground, and the control room idea I talked about. I'm not sure what's going to go here. I'm leaning towards animal farms and stuff like that. And this is going to be my dark room and branch mine. So that's the old path to where the branch mine ladder is, and this is where the dark room's going to go. Again, another project that I would like to see done very soon. I haven't finished the clay strips in these yet, but that will come in time. I am beginning to run quite low on hardened clay, and I'm going to have to take another trip to the mesa. And you can see we've done through here now as well. That's all been lovely cleaned up. And obviously, I guess the final thing to show you here is what's been going on over here. So, I finished this, got the flooring all nicely done. And this is our farm for the tall grass and the ferns that we worked on last episode with the shears. And through here is our grass and mycelium farm that we set up, and that's looking pretty cool too, nicely filled. So everything's looking pretty good around here. I'm feeling pretty good about the situation that we have now. There is still a number of projects that I would like to do though. Probably the most pressing project right now, as far as big projects go, is setting up the second floor to this guy. That's going to be the next big project, because that enables me to start and integrate some of the items I've been farming already: grass, mycelium, wheat, carrots, netherwort, potatoes, all those kind of things, into the storage room itself, as well as sort out and organize all of my stained and dyed blocks. So wool, clay, glass, those kinds of things are all going to be on the second floor. So that's kind of the next pressing project that needs to be done. But I didn't want to get stuck into that today, as well as it's took me pretty much 4 or 5 hours just to get everything kind of done around here. To do all the redstone, to sort of clean all this stuff up, take out the glass took a while. So I didn't want to get into another heavy project straight away. But digging the second floor will definitely be a project that I will do off camera, and then I'll probably decorate it out and we'll spend an episode or two doing that. And also the dark room is probably another big project that I would like to get stuck into relatively soon. But that again is another redstone heavy project, and I am beginning to run low as far as redstone supplies go. At least for farms of that nature and that size, it's going to become pretty difficult to get everything I want to do done, including the dark room. So I may have to do some branch mining for a bit just to get my redstone supply back up. But that again is all time consuming stuff, so I've not really had the opportunity to really do all of that right now. But nevertheless, I'm really happy with what I have achieved, and I think in the short term, at the very least, my plan is to kind of work on the little farms like the vine farm today. I also want to set up farms for wheat, cactus, sugarcane, things like that on the surface, to try and finish a few things up there as well. But generally things are looking good now. I will feel much happier once a few of those projects are gone. I have kind of a list of projects that I want to do, and you know, they're very time intensive, it has to be said, which is why I've tried to come up with solutions and new ideas that enable me to kind of remove some of the time consuming aspect to it. And that sort of idea is, for example, to try building a few things on the surface and make them look good, rather than build everything underground and be very time consuming digging rooms out. Now obviously that's unavoidable for a storage room like this, for the dark room over there, for the branch mine, but for things like a cactus farm, sugarcane farm and stuff like that, they can be built on the surface just fine and be made to look good. And I actually have a few ideas as regards a few of those that we will be looking at in the upcoming episodes here. So for today at least, what I want to work on is a vine farm. Now vines I don't use often, so I'm not going to go with a very complex route. It's going to kind of be of a similar theme to what we already have going on here with these farms, the grass and mycelium and the tall grass and fern farms. And what I'm thinking at the moment is kind of having maybe like a wall of vines and then a 2 wide water stream, or maybe some hoppers on the ground, or water streams 2 hoppers that then put it into a chest. What I might do actually is kind of have like a wall like this, and then water coming in from either side, and then they meet either, you know, 2 or 4 hoppers in the middle, and then it goes to a chest, and I can access that chest and kind of go that route. And the idea would be I would fill up my inventory with blocks so I don't pick anything up. I don't know how efficient that would be. Then again, vine farming is not something that is very much needed, I guess is probably the right term for it, because I'm not going to need a lot of vines really. It's just a decorative thing that grows anyway, but it is nice to have a vine farm. And I want to try the idea out. One thing that someone actually brought up in the comments I think, of my episode 120 when I did the gold farm, was they liked it when I did unique projects. Oh, I forget the guy's name. I'm sorry. I know who you are. I think it might have been just Bob, possibly. Oh my. What is this? This is not good. It seems to be okay, though. So, this fellow brought up that he liked it when I did sort of unique projects, even if I took on someone else's idea, and then sort of trialed it and messed around with it a little bit and put my own stamp on it. And that was one of the major themes with this base. I don't have the time or the resources, really, to completely design everything from scratch, but if I could tweak it in some way and people like it, then that's a good achievement for me. I'm not a huge redstone guy, as many of you know. I have got interest in redstone, which is why I'm doing a redstone themed base, but I don't have this sort of real strong ability with it. So for big farms, I've just been generally going with someone else's design to kind of save time a little bit. But nonetheless, it is fun every now and then to have a go at doing some stuff yourself, like we are going to do with the vine farm today. So I'm just kind of clearing out space right now. I want to see how much space we do have here to try and integrate this in. I'm concerned about this, so I don't want to go any further for right now. I want to see where the stone bricks are. Okay, so the stone bricks are right there, so that's going to be the wall for that. So ideally, we don't want to go any further than this here. That's kind of our limit as far as the door goes, which is not terrible because I could just put the vine farm on this wall and it wouldn't be a big deal. As far as height goes, I don't think it needs to be particularly large either. So let's kind of just flesh out a design of what we want to do here. I do still have my vines and shears on me. Obviously it's going to need a little bit of decoration and cleaning up, which I will do a little bit of off camera, but I would like to get a basic design going. What was that? Might have been a mob on the surface, I'm not sure. They have a habit of opening my automatic doors on the surface and just wandering in and ruining my crops. That will be addressed eventually, but not at this moment in time. So we have a room now that is, and I definitely want to leave room for the door. The door would go there. So we have a room now that is, what, 3, 6, 7. Okay, and I think I could make it so that the redstone was hidden there for the door, and this is where the water flows in. Great. Is this the river? It is the river. Okay, so we're kind of limited on room here now, which is not good. That's basically our limit, the wall right there. I could possibly push it one more, but I don't want to go much further than that, really, in case of, you know, just causing issues generally with water and so on and so forth. So I want to kind of keep this somewhat clean. I guess I'll just do that for now. I do go back and repair the river later, just so that it looks more natural, as I did with the farm over here. So I could definitely make it longer lengthways, which is kind of the idea anyway. It certainly doesn't need to be any taller, so I don't have to worry about that. And I guess, let's dig this out. This would be where the water would go. And then we probably have some hoppers in the middle that sort of meet up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the hoppers would probably be here or here for this side, and then there will be another side beyond that. And the idea I'm thinking of at the moment is to have vines sort of going down the wall, and then I shear them. And one thing I guess we can test is how far do vines sort of pop off when they are like this. So I can stand here and shear them, especially when we get to the higher ones. I want to see if any fly out. Of those vines, none of them flew out of this too wide trough, so I think we've got enough room with that. I don't know what I want to use as the backing wall material. I might use a either a form of stained clay or stone bricks, maybe even mossy cobblestone, as we've not used that right now. That might be pretty cool to get the vine farm going with. Now, the only thing I'm also worried about is if I have vines here, if they're going to get caught in a dead zone, but I don't think water works like that. I would have to double check though, but I'll do that off camera. And as I say, we do have this wall here, which we could probably do something on with at least item storage or something like that. Maybe. And that would be a useful application of this. Again, vines, they're not a super important resource to the point where I need a lot of them. It would just be nice to have a reasonable sized farm that, you know, I might be able to get a stack of vines from shearing it every now and then. So what I think I want to do now is I want to go ahead and clear out this and think a little bit about what I want to do as far as decoration goes, and then we'll probably come back and set up the redstone for it, even though it's just kind of more of a collection system. There's not really any redstone involved in this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will be back. Okay guys, so I've got the basics of an idea going now. I've basically set out everything I need as regards the actual collection system. I'm going to have a chest here and 2 hoppers there. I'm not entirely sure yet what it's going to completely look like and whether I'll need to do any extra decoration. I cannot see below those blocks, so I do not. But with the chest I will be able to. So that's how the funnel system's going to work. I'm not sure what I want to put down here just yet, but I will probably go with a flavour of stained clay. Now, I do need a workbench. Do I have a workbench anywhere nearby? I don't have any wood on me. Doesn't look like it. I might have to go pick one up, just so that I can do a little bit of crafting here and get everything that I need made. I don't have one in here either. The nearest one is right here, which is a little bit of a pain, but it's not too bad, I guess. So I want to make some of the green stained clay, that's for sure. We're actually going to go with the darker green stained clay, and we're also going to use some stone bricks, if we can make them. There we go. And I think that that's going to be good for crafting at the moment. Doesn't look like I have anything else in my inventory that needs crafting, so we'll see, but I think this should be good for now. So in here, the floor is going to be the green that I just made. So let's go ahead and make that. There we go. Just up to there for now. I'm not really sure what I want the walls to be right now. I'm thinking just plain stone bricks. That'll be good enough for this. Again, it's not an area I visit particularly often, so I'm not too worried about going overkill as far as decorations go in here. There we go. Oop. So let's see what this looks like. I've never really built with the regular green stained clay before. I've never found a use for it, but we have now. So that's that. I guess the bottom of the wall here should probably be that, maybe, for right now, although that might look a little odd and might contradict with what I have in mind for the walls. I definitely think that the floor here at least should be the same, but again, that could also change with the eventual chosen floor material. We'll just have to see on that. So let's actually go ahead and set up the walls then, and I'm just going to try stone bricks to begin with. We'll see how it pans out. Now where those torches are, there's going to be redstone lamps, which I do not currently have on me right now, but I will have in a moment. So I just want to see what it all looks like. I'll probably go a little bit further back, being as I was going to make it stone bricks, but I don't think that that is too important. So let's see what it looks like. I mean, it doesn't look bad. I mean, it kind of is what it is. This wall is obviously going to be covered up in vines, but really, I'm not going to be looking at the wall too much. Over here, I'll probably have my vine storage chest, or maybe my shears chest, seeing as the vines are going to be there. There is also the need to have a redstone controlled area, which may be what this too thick area is for eventually. We'll just have to see on that, if I can make it work. Or I may put it on this wall, possibly. Because what I want is I want a lever here, which is going to control whether the items stay in that chest or if they go down to the storage room. So we're going to have to think about that as well. Now that's not too hard to do, it's just getting it in a way that's not going to interfere with my other farm there. So probably building it behind it would be ideal. How much room do we have? Because obviously the switch would go there. Is this the back of the farm? It is. Now the question is, that grass block is the grass block that is the source. So I can go to here with it basically, which is fine, I think. Because if I had my lever this block here, then I could have a torch which flips, and then I'll have a redstone dust, and then I could probably do one of those slabs, although that's gonna sort of mess that up, isn't it, if I did that. Let's put that back for now. I could do a torch and then maybe the dust there, and then maybe bring it this way, although that's still going to power that, because the redstone dust will point into that block, which will then power the hopper. So I'm not sure what I want to do with that. There may be another way of doing it that's not clear to me right now, and I'll probably have to do some experimentation to get it 100% working. I mean, I could possibly put it near the door, maybe? What's this like here? Still grass. See, that's not really any better. Same there. Probably should have thought this out a little bit better before just dumping it here. And I don't really want to go too much further that direction. I mean, I guess I could and just deal with the river, but that's worse than trying to configure this. I might try and configure this, and if it doesn't work and it just messes up the whole system, then what I might do is I might just, you know, deal with it and move it one further back. But that seems like a lot of effort without even trying to wire up the redstone completely at that point in time. I may also be able to do something where it goes down the side. That is definitely something I could do, and then gets wired into this hopper or the hopper below that chest there when there is one. So I could probably try doing that, and that might actually solve my worries here. So at this point, I guess the next thing to do is probably going to be to finish off this wall, and obviously this wall as well. Think about the ceiling a little bit. I have an idea similar to the farm that we built here for the ceiling. Do one of these again and actually get the vines growing. That's kind of the next step here. So I'm going to go ahead and get my remaining supplies sorted out, and then I will return and we'll wrap the build up. So I will be once again right back. Well, I thought I'd cut you guys back in before I got really carried away and just got everything done, because significant progress has been made on the vine farm, and I'm just kind of in the phase now of wiring up the redstone for this room here. I actually went with iron blocks as the material to put on this wall. A bit of an interesting choice. Thought it might be a little bit unique, and I decided to go with that. I mean, I could afford it. I have an iron farm, so I don't have too many issues with that. As far as the redstone goes for this, it's really quite simple. All I need to do is just power the hopper there. I have to get rid of that torch from there for the time being. And all we need to do for is just run the redstone down here. I think we have to... Ooh, yeah, just be careful of that. Just going to have to be careful about where we put things. But everything's looking good at the moment. I'm going to have to put a block there. Guess I will throw a torch in there just to keep light levels good. And unfortunately, there's a bunch of stuff in that hopper now, but I can't access it still, so that's fine. And I'm going to fill in the little hole that we have going on right there. That looks pretty okay there. That's going to break the hopper. I don't want to break that if there's going to be water there. Just kind of want to move this a little bit and make it look a little bit nicer, because it kind of looks a bit odd. You can kind of see the stone there, and I don't really like that so much. So now what should happen here is I'm gonna, before I seal this up, I should power that, and if I throw something, say this green stained clay in here, it should stay in here, which it does, so that's good. And I will just have to go ahead and, whoops, fish everything out of that chest, and then, well, out of the hopper that's below the chest, and then we should be good. We've got kind of a lot of stuff in here, so I'm just going to dump some things in there for the time being. So that's good. I will need a sign for that at some point, which I'll probably add off camera. And do I have some stone bricks in here? I do. So we can go ahead and seal that up. And seal that up. So all we've got missing now is a door to get into the vine farm. I kind of went with this ceiling design, similar pattern to the one we have in the other farm there. I'm not sure about this. I might get rid of these corner pieces. But for right now, it's looking good. And we can actually go ahead and test the vine farm now. Just go ahead and do some shearing on some of these vines that have grown. And they will steadily flow down the water there and get pumped into here. There you go. I guess I'll put the rest of my vines in there and start and clear out some of this other junk that I've got left in there for the time being. So this is a really simple and easy vine farm. I will need to set up a chest here to put my shears in. Oh, you know what I might actually do? I might do the dropper thing I did before. That was... I liked that. I liked that a lot. So I think I might do that again. So I'm going to need... what, a dropper there. And a button either above it or below it. And then an item frame on it. And I'll just have to do a little bit of running around for that. But that's fine. How do you make a dropper again? Is it... it's this, right? You put cobblestone in and... I love how I'm saying it. As if you guys can talk to me. Put that in there. I can get an item frame on that later. And put shears in there. And I could set up a button of some sort. Either a stone or probably a wooden button. And get that going. And I will need to just kind of extend this corridor a little bit here. I'm going to have to try and do the redstone in such a way that the door's going to be unaffected by the river being nearby. But I'm really happy with this. It's a simple build. You know, it's not difficult, and I kind of wanted to keep with the simplistic theme. I didn't want to go overkill with it. And I can harvest my vines really easily. And if I need vines now, I'm going to be sorted in that regard. So what I will do is off camera, I will finish this, ready for next episode. I'm not sure what we might do next episode. I might go ahead and start work on the wheat farm possibly, or we might go do something else, we'll see. But I just wanted a nice little small project to do after all the work that I did during the actual day here before recording this episode. I hope you don't mind. Things have been kind of busy lately and I've wanted to kind of get some things done on the world here moving forward. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode and I hope to see you next time. So until then guys, see you later and have a good day.